There are very few drummers that sound very clean with their playing, and there's a whole lot of others that sound... Yeah, I know you know what that means. And I know you want to learn how to execute, your grooves, your chops, your fills in a way that is pleasant to the hearing of your listeners. And today I'm going to be sharing with you some deep secrets that some of the top drummers we know all over the globe use to make their playing sound so clean that you always want to hear more of them. So just as a bonus, I'm also going to be doing a crazy drum lick breakdown to further illustrate these tips I'm going to be sharing with you. And I want you to watch to the end of this video because all these tips work hand in hand to make your playing sound much more cleaner. So the main thing that makes you sound very clean and near perfect on drum revolves all around your techniques. So first of all, we're going to start with the techniques which you use to hold your drumsticks. So I, as a person, use the mashed grip technique. We also have traditional grip and some other kind of grips. But the reason why the grip is so important is because the grip determines how you hit the drum and then also determines the kind of sound the drum gives back to you. So just in case you don't know what a mashed grip is, it's just where you're holding your stick like this. Most times you hold your stick just like this. You get it? So that is your mashed grip technique. So if you use the right technique, either you use traditional grip or mashed grip, but I'm teaching mashed grip because it's what I've mastered over the years. It helps you, hit the drum at whatever level of intensity you want to do it. You can decide to hit the drum at this. Yeah, and then you can also decide to hit it soft. But your technique helps you know exactly what you want and you go for it. Just remember, you have to be very intentional about everything you hit on the drum. So now we've gotten the grip out of the way, it's very important for you to note that every angle of the drum, every portion of the drum gives a different sound from the other one. So you have to be very, very intentional about wherever part of the drum you are hitting. If you're hitting the center of the snare, or hitting, the rim, somewhere close to the rim, or hitting the cross stick, or your hi-hat, or any part of the drum, I'm going to really illustrate how this can make you sound very nice shortly. Now, to further explain how hitting the drums on the right spot can make your playing so much neater, I'll start off with the hi-hat. Now, the hi-hat has different parts of it. It has the bell, it has the top, and then the body of it. If you listen, you have three different sounds. There are three different sounds. And also bear in mind, with your hi-hat, you have a mechanism that helps you open and close the hi-hat. Sounds like this when closed, sounds like this when opened. So now what you should know about the hi-hat is, the hi-hat, you can choose to play on the top, choose to play by the side. But understand that it's all about the right time to play it. It's not just about choice. Now, let's say for instance, when we are playing a normal funk groove, playing the body of the hi-hat is very appropriate. Just watch this groove. But now, let me now play a trap beat, and then you see where the top of the hi-hat differs from the body of the hi-hat. Now watch this. Trying to do that here is not going to work. You get? So you are hitting, most times when you are hitting the body of your hi-hat, make sure you are hitting it with the neck of your stick, somewhere around the neck of the stick. So, but then when you want to hit the body of the hi-hat, you can decide to hit it with the ball, that's the top of the stick. As little as this thing is, it can change everything about your playing. For instance, in different genres of music that are very, very important, you might need to, even in our African local music, sometimes you need to hit the bell of the hi-hat. Yeah, if you don't give it that vibe, it's not going to sound like the appropriate tone needed for that particular place. So with the hi-hat done, we move down to the snare drum. The snare drum also, the same thing. With your snare drum, you have the middle of the snare, which most times is where you're always hitting. Then we have somewhere close to the rims. You hear the reggae drummers, you hear things like... Now, this thing sounds so nice, but then you can imagine missing your rim shot and probably hearing things like... So you have to build yourself to be so accurate on your hitting that whenever you decide to hit the center of the snare, you get it accurately. When you want to hit the rim, you get it accurately. When you want to have a mixture of the both of them, like the times when you need to hit your stick, like the body of the stick, together with the center of the drums, you hear something like this. So the same thing applies to everything about the drums. The toms have the same effect, but if you play somewhere around here, it's not going to sound as nice as. Are you hearing it? The same thing. Then down to your cymbals, the same thing also. The cymbal has a place where you should hit. When you want to just, ride like a jazz player, you can choose to. When you want to ride on the bell, you see, it's different. Then when you want to crash on your cymbals, you hit it just on the body. They all have different effects. So be very intentional about all of this. Now, I'll do a drum breakdown as I promised to do initially. And I'll do it execute it properly, and I'll also do it executing it roughly. Here you see the difference between playing very carefully and playing anyhow you see fit to play the drums. So this is the drum breakdown here. Now watch how intentional I am about every stroke I'm hitting on the drums. Now the feel sounds like this. So I'm intentional about the fact that I want it to sound on the snare. I'm not doing. Are you hearing the sound? Because sometimes when we play too excited, we tend to forget that the drums actually respond to how you hit them and where you hit them. So be very intentional about hitting it in the middle. Not. So, you see my hi-hat? I was very intentional that I was going to open my hi-hat on that particular portion of the feel. So, if you watch, I hit everything just in the center. Okay, so one other thing you need to do is to make sure that whatever chop you are playing, you end on the one, and you are very intentional about everything you are playing before you get to that particular place. Because I've seen a lot of drummers struggle with this particular place, and I've also struggled with it. Because that moment you just play anything just to hit on the one. But that is wrong. Make sure everything you are doing, just like this feel I taught, I'm going to explain it again. I'll use a metronome that is counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see exactly how to end on the one of a feel.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
So if you want me to share more tips as regards to this topic, which is, sounding cleaner on the drums as a drummer, I want you to drop a comment in that comment box below, and I would respond with another video if a lot of you request for it. So one thing you need to know is not sounding clean enough on the drums comes from making mistakes. And I've previously made a video that will help you stop making mistakes. I'm going to leave the link to this video here. There are a lot of tips I shared there that will help you stop making mistakes. And it's going to make you a much more clean sounding drummer. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.